Yo, what's up, RT?
Well, we've been talking for like 2 hours now.
Man, producer Blake's been in Seattle for the last 5 or 6 days.
Traveling for his side hustle.
Right.
And then what?
He's selling himself in Seattle.
But
it's his side hustle.
listen, I respect Blake. Like he's making some extra money.
I respect him too.
He was here. He's been here. We're still just talking.
Yeah.
I know, you know what I mean? Like a lot to talk about in the world right now.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been laughing. I've been following Fox News and Fox and Friends, and then a couple of reporters out of Israel. And
yeah,
dude, I just open my phone up and I just start laughing again. It's like we killed a whole bunch of people, and then the next day they voted in new people, and we killed all them too. And it's just the intelligence community in Israel is just crazy, and it's hard for me not to laugh because I'm on this side of things.
Yeah.
If you're on their side, it'd be tough to laugh.
It's a wild time in our world.
It's a wild time. Yeah.
You were
talking about Pete Hegseth and just...
Yeah, what it's talking about. Yeah, everything that's going on in the world. Yeah.
We said we weren't going to talk about this, but...
No, there's...
How do you not?
Yeah,
it's wild, dude. It's just
wild.
Crazy.
Yeah,
you see the Iron Dome? Then they came out with a new Iron Dome that shoots lasers, and it's like, here we are, like right to an Austin Powers movie. We're firing the giant lasers, and it's like, dude, what's next?
Yeah.
Like Blake was talking about earlier, like they used, they used stealth helicopters. We went in to kill Bin Laden, and it's like nobody knew about that. And then we went in and we stole a president. We kidnapped a president a few months ago, and we used some new technology to make everybody sick and nauseous. And it's like, what is out there that we don't know about?
Yeah.
Like, well, you probably know about it.
I'm going to let you talk all the military and wars.
Yeah.
But here's where I'll jump in.
I don't want you to lose your other job.
No, here's where I'll jump in.
Okay.
Is that Sunday at church, we're working through the book of Luke.
Yeah.
18 months in Luke or
Dude, you couldn't have hit a better chapter.
And then we find ourselves at Luke 21.
Yeah.
Thanks for paying attention.
I got you. Yeah. It was an interesting sermon. So
just, because the day before, there's the attacks in Iran and everything that's happening. And then you get to Luke 21 and it's like, hey, there's going to be wars. There's going to be rumor of wars. There's going to be nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There's going to be terror.
Right.
So all these things we see.
Well, that's what they're talking about now. It's like, there might be sleeper cells around the world that are just going to come to life. And it's like, great. So.
Yeah. It's just interesting there in Luke 21. Jesus is like preparing them. Then he's like, he tells them like, hey, the temple's going to fall.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, the temple's not going to fall. This is like the best built building around. It'll never fall down. Like, no, it's going to fall. There's not going to be stone left upon a stone.
Yep.
And there's going to be all these problems.
Yeah.
And people are going to be fighting, and they're going to hate you for being a Christian.
Yep.
And so here we are over 2,000 years later, and his words are coming true.
Yeah, there's a country that's hating Christianity.
Yeah.
And saying death to America and death to Christianity, and then we just obliterated.
Well, yeah, it's just for 2,000 years, right? We've seen like there's wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah.
And so, for the Christian, it's like taking heart and finding our hope in the gospel. And crazy times.
It's just been a wild week.
It has.
Yeah. I just, I don't know if you're supposed to laugh or not. Probably not. But, when they talk about sinking, 11 Navy ships. And so now this country, Iran has no Navy. And now they have no air defense system. And now they have, it's just the strategic planning behind all of this is just wild.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Crazy times. Talk about something a little lighter.
Yeah.
The Farmstead, the Farmstead Summit.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of guys asking about it.
Okay, cool.
We haven't talked about it yet. But
no, we kind of, we mentioned it.
September 10th through 12th will be the dates.
Yep.
Because we do the weekend after Labor Day.
Yeah.
So.
Want to talk about the other thing too? No.
Well.
We don't have any detail on it.
We don't have any detail. We want to do something one evening. Yeah. But September 10th and 12th, go ahead and put that on your calendars. Registration will be up soon.
Yep. It'd be fun to do a bonfire or something rather again with some food maybe.
Listen, I'm trying to talk about the fall.
Come on, man. Nobody cares about that yet.
No, because guys need to plan. Do you plan your calendar yet?
No, dude.
Oh, I've been planning my fall, so I need to get this on the calendar.
Okay.
Get it on the calendar. September 10th and 12th.
Yep.
Sign-ups will be soon. You don't want to miss it.
Okay.
And for the new listeners, we go to my family farm.
Yep.
We spend a couple days there.
Yeah, we camp out.
We camp out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
We had a really good time last year.
We did.
Yep.
Last year in the spring, we went and did a barn gathering for one night.
Yep.
Had a bonfire, talked about a mission statement.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Maybe we'll do that again.
Let's try to do it again. That means we gotta get to work.
Yeah.
Find a date.
Didn't your grandpa just celebrate a birthday?
Yeah, he just celebrated his 96th birthday.
96 years.
He actually asked me, he's like, "Hey, are we gonna you guys bringing some guys down again? I really like it when they come down." So,
Nice. Okay.
and it's got his tractor fixed, so he wants to show it off because he's like, "I can drive it in." Like they have, it's an old tractor, like an old farm-all.
Yeah.
So you have a road gear on those. I remember as a kid, he was always like, "Don't put in road gear in the farm." So if we did, we got in trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
You did not want to be in trouble by him.
Right.
So, but he told me the other day he got it fixed and it's steering grade. He goes, "I've been putting that thing in road gear and going down the tracks." So he's
All
moving in
right.
it. Yeah.
I love that he's 96 and he still does this.
Yeah, out there by himself doing that. You know,
It scares me and I love it.
speaking of that,
Yeah.
that's actually like that was not planned, but it segments into what I thought we could talk about
What
today.
you got?
I thought we could talk about as men, like playing the long game.
Yeah. Yeah. Your grandpa's doing that.
He is doing that.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. I feel like he's playing the short game and it's going really long.
Yeah.
I say that, but like the other day, we got down there and he had on full face shield
Mhm.
and full coveralls and he's weed eating.
Yeah.
And
He was.
you said this. You said that, he's playing the long game. He
Mhm.
does dangerous things, but he does them really safely. He plans it all out.
He does. Yeah.
That's how he made it to 96.
That's how you make it to 96. And some luck.
We talk about like our dads, how they died younger.
Yeah.
They just they weren't being as safe.
Yeah. What I was thinking with long game
Anyway, go
is
ahead.
that a lot of times I think as men, we want like whatever the next win is as quick as possible.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Does
what we want.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we don't think in terms of decades, but rather we think in terms of like weeks.
Yeah.
Or days.
Or days.
Months.
Or hours.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes like years, right? Hey, I know like I'm going to go to school. I got in this trade. I'm going to be this apprentice for a couple of years. I'm going to go to college for a couple of years. And then I'm going to have this. So we think a couple of years.
Yeah.
Or we think long term, like, hey, I want to retire someday. But like for like making an impact, how God's going to use us, I think we also need to play the long game and think in terms of decades.
No, I agree. I like that.
Because what happens when we read the Bible is we read about someone in the Bible, and the stories in the Bible go right next to each other, right? So if you're reading about a guy's life, chapter 12, he's born, or this happens, God calls him. Chapter 13, he's out doing these great things.
Yeah.
And there could be like a large gap in there.
Yeah,
but we don't think about it because we're just reading it, right?
Yeah, what happened to that last 20 or 30 years?
It's that guy spent his 20s and 30s out in the wilderness someplace or something, right? And you're like, but for us, we're like, no, it's instant. So we think, hey, we immediately want the leadership responsibility. We immediately want to have all these things.
Now, we like instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
So I've been studying a guy in scripture, just a little bit, kind of reading back up. Joseph, are you that familiar with Joseph's story?
Yeah, a little bit.
There's so much. Do you have your Bible?
I know, I don't.
Man.
I got a phone. I can access it.
Can you? Okay.
What you got? Oh, you want to get Matt Barnes' Bible down?
No, if you got
You haven't opened it yet, have you?
No, I haven't. That from
he
the
probably
Steakhouse.
inscripted something really nice inside.
He probably wrote us a note. We need to check on that and see.
What do you want?
Genesis 37.
Genesis at the front, right?
Yeah, it's the first book. Yeah. Like maybe we should just do like a discipleship thing for Nick on here. I don't
37?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 37.
Yeah, what you got?
All right, so we got the story of Joseph.
Yep.
So here's kind of the beginning of Joseph's life.
Yeah, like the generations of Jacob.
Yeah. So Joseph has a lot of brothers.
Being 17 years old.
Yeah, he's 17. All right, that's when we find him. So this is key.
Right.
He's 17 years old. He's the favorite son of his dad.
Right.
You had siblings.
Yeah, I was not the favorite son.
You were not. That is not surprising.
The third favorite kid of 3.
Okay.
That's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. So you'll relate maybe to Joseph's brothers a little bit in this story. So, which maybe we should do an episode. It's not good to have a favorite as a parent, but that's a separate thing.
So, want to bring your favorite kid in?
No, because they all think they're my favorite.
Yeah, but we know which one is.
No, yeah, I'm sure you do. So he's the favorite son.
Yeah.
So the brothers already don't like him.
Yeah.
So then he has a dream. Actually, I think it'd be like verse 3. Does he start talking about his dream?
Sounds like a lot like Martin Luther King.
And you probably not. There's gonna be some words there you may not know how to pronounce. Just say it with confidence.
Just say it fast.
Yeah, say it fast.
Oh, there it is. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any other of his sons.
Yeah, so Israel would be the dad there, right? So he loved him more than any sons. Okay,
yeah, because he was the son of his old age.
Yeah, so he had him when he's an old man.
Right.
So he's the baby of the family.
Yeah, and he made him a robe of many colors.
Yeah, he made him like a coat.
Yeah, a rainbow flag coat.
Keep on going.
But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully to him.
Okay, so they hated him. We've already got this part.
Yep.
We should have started a verse or two down.
Oh, here we
That's
go.
right.
Now Joseph had a dream.
There we go. That's what I was trying to get to.
I had a dream. And when he told this to his brothers, they hated him even more.
Yeah.
He said to them, "Hear this dream that I have dreamed. Behold, we are binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright. And behold, your sheaves gathered around it and bowed down to the sheaf." And his brother said to him, "Are you indeed to reign over us, or are you indeed to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words.
So it goes on. He has another dream very similar.
Yeah.
So here's kind of the point. So Joseph's brothers hate him.
Yeah.
Because his dad loves him so much.
Right.
There's the coat that's familiar. So then he has a dream about that he's going to serve over his brothers.
Yeah.
Like his brothers going to serve him.
Yep.
So what does he do? He tells his brothers.
Right.
So you can imagine, like, we already don't like this guy.
Yeah.
Dad already favors
now
him.
he's telling us that we're going to be his servants.
He's the younger brother and we're going to work for him.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Then he does it again.
Right.
So they really hate him. So it goes over several chapters in Genesis, what takes place. But basically, Joseph knows that, hey, God's going to use him in a way, in a mighty way. His brothers are going to, come to him at some point. He's going to have other people serving him. God has big plans for his life. His brothers get mad. They throw him in a pit. You all right over there?
No, it sounds like the war just made it to Indiana.
I think you're just hearing some thunder. You'll be all right. Grab your, what is this, a 22?
It'll be fine.
What is this?
It's highly accurate sniper rifle.
Okay, yeah.
Open sights.
Yeah. Yeah.
World War I version.
I've seen you shoot. That's
wow. Thanks, bud.
Hey, you can hit a deer.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Anyways, his brothers are jealous of him. They throw him into a pit.
Yeah.
And then the one brother's like, they start feeling bad. He's going to die in this pit. We don't want him to die. There's some people going by. They go get him out of the pit.
Yeah.
And they sell him as a slave. So now he goes from thinking,
my brothers are going to serve me.
My brother's going to serve me. My dad loves me. Yeah. Life's going to be good. Like things have to be looking up for him. He has the nicest coat around.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like everyone's like, man, I hate this guy because he's so lucky. And so
sold by your brothers.
Sold by his brothers.
Yeah.
Becomes a slave.
Right.
Ends up in Potiphar's house. The story there goes that Potiphar's wife tries to get with him. Yeah. He runs. He doesn't give in to it. He does the right thing.
Yeah.
She accuses him, like, hey, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
So he gets thrown in jail.
Right.
So he goes from dad loving him, favorite, God giving a dream, he's going to use him big ways.
Yep.
His brother hating him even more. You're sitting in a pit by yourself, which I can't imagine, right? Like your brothers physically take you and throw you in a pit.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
And then they pull you out of the pit. You think, maybe they're going to be nice.
Yeah.
And they sell you.
Right.
Then you end up at some rich dude's house. You're like, I can see how maybe God's going to use me. And then you get falsely accused for doing the right thing.
Yep.
Like he didn't give in to this woman.
Right.
Does the right thing. Then he ends up in jail. Gets in prison. The story goes there. He interprets a couple dreams for guys. And they're like, hey, when we get out of here, we're going to make sure they know about you and they let you out.
Yeah. You should stop doing that.
They don't let him out.
Right.
They forget about him.
Yeah.
And so in his mind, I just think he suddenly has to think like, okay, God's going to use me. And then I'm 17 years old. And, at 17, you're pretty ambitious, right?
Oh, yeah.
Man, God's got big plans for
you
my
haven't
life.
been knocked down yet.
And then he spends the next 13 or so years going from a pit to slave to prison to being the second in command of all of Egypt. So he finally gets used.
Right.
But it goes through this for 13 years. There's no one telling him how great he is.
Yeah.
There's no applause. There's no one saying like, man, you're really a man of God. You're going to do big things, right? There's really, like, in his mind, I would think there's no guarantee that this dream's ever going to happen.
Right.
That you had when you were young. So God, like, showed Joseph the destination of where he was going.
And just look at that humility, you know, to be cloud nine on top of the world, to being knocked down. I mean, down pretty far. By the time you're sold into slavery and then into prison, and then to climb back up, and now you're the second in command.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It's awesome. And I think what we can see from that is
pretty awesome to be able to endure too.
Most men love like the dream portion of like when you're 17 or you're young, it could be 30, 40, like, hey, I got this dream, I'm going to do this. But they don't wanna endure the process that takes place to get you there when you're finally there.
Yep,
So in
exactly.
order for Joseph to be ready to be second in command of Egypt, God sent him through all these other
Yeah.
things that he was ready to lead.
Yep.
And so I think as men, many times we're like, "No, I want this now.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to lead now.
I'm ready
Yeah.
now." And yet Joseph wasn't ready then.
Yeah.
He even had to learn some things, maybe some tact on when you tell your brothers
Right.
what your
Yeah.
dream is. Um, so I just wanna kinda, like, let's talk through this just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you think about, the pit where Joseph found himself. It kinda shows that life's not always fair,
Right.
that he did everything right,
Yep.
and yet he found himself in the pit.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have told your brothers your dream.
Maybe.
They already don't like you.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be a little more wise into what you do tell them.
Yeah. But I think as men, there are times when you can do things right and still find yourself a pit in
Yep.
life. Like, God's sovereign, still control.
Right.
So you may be working hard, trying to lead your family well, and all of a sudden you get laid off from your job,
Yeah.
and it wasn't because you're doing a crappy job working.
Right.
It's because your company decided to
Yeah.
downsize.
Yeah, it's just because things happen.
But things happen. So
Yep.
you're trying to lead well, you're trying to do right, and it happens. And then all of a sudden you have financial pressure.
Right.
Maybe your marriage, right?
Yeah.
It's probably gonna struggle at that
Yeah.
time.
For sure.
You can be taking care of your body and health problems can just come.
Yep.
Right? And it's
Yeah.
not stuff that you prepared for, and all of a sudden you find yourself, in this pit. And so what I love about Joseph there is what we see in his life is he didn't become bitter along that stages.
Right.
Like, he goes to the
Yeah.
Potiphar's house,
I
he's
mean, I'm
making
sure
a
there was some
difference there.
bitterness,
Yeah, we
but he
don't
didn't
see it.
become bitter.
Yeah, he didn't become I'm sure there's times, right? Like,
Right. What is going on?
what am I
Why
doing
is this
here?
happening to me?
Or even finally, like, after years and he finds himself in prison and he gets forgotten about in prison, like,
Yeah.
but he didn't quit, he didn't blame God, he just kept on going,
Yeah.
right? So it didn't disqualify him, it
Right.
was actually God using him
Yep.
during that time in the pit. So I think that helps us when you lose your job, when your marriage struggling, when
Yep.
you're going through this rough time to think, "Man, God still have a plan for my life."
Yep.
And this feels like the pit right now.
Well, I think it just goes back to that, men and perseverance, and just because you're down today doesn't mean that it's the end. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not down forever, and you might even walk through this for a while.
Yeah.
And then once the lesson maybe is learned or whatever, maybe you get to step out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you never get to step out of it.
Maybe not.
So
Maybe it's so he goes from the pit.
Yep.
Then I think what's interesting, he goes to prison. And so in prison, it's like he was forgotten about.
Yeah.
And I think guys feel this.
Oh yeah,
Like they're right, do you ever
man. Like when you feel singled out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the euphemism for prison is
Yeah.
I'm singled out and I'm not in a group of people right now and you feel forgotten about
Yeah.
or you feel like your problems don't really matter.
Yeah. Or maybe you're even doing a good job.
Yeah.
Maybe you're being a great husband. Maybe you're working hard at your work.
Right.
You're going to church. You're running a ministry. No one's telling you you're doing a good job.
Yep.
No one's noticing you're doing a good job. They're only noticing the guys that are messing up,
Yep.
right? And so you just staying after it, doing a good job, and you're
Yeah.
like, no one even cares.
Right.
No one notices. And maybe life doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Right.
And that's where I think Joseph's at in prison. He's like in this time where no one sees him, and the
Yeah.
people that are supposed to see him to help him out, that he helped, didn't.
Right.
So yeah, I think that men, feel that.
Yep.
But then that finally leads to he ends up in the palace,
Right.
and that's where his character along the way paid off.
Yep. Exactly.
Right, he didn't give
Yeah.
up in the pit.
Yeah. The perseverance paid off. The character along the way paid
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
And you think about when he showed up at the palace and he finds himself second in command, he developed a lot of skills along that place, right?
Right.
So administratively, he had developed his leadership. He
Yep.
was spiritually deep by that point. There had to be some like emotional maturity he had
Yeah.
after going through all that,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Neglected by family. And so I think like when we look in the long game in our life, when you're in your 20s, 30s, you're thinking, I want to lead now. I want this now.
Yeah.
But maybe you're going through some seasons and God's not going to use that until you're 70 years old.
Yep.
But there's a purpose for it.
Right.
And so I think it helps us to think
Yep.
down the road. And I think the reason a lot of men quit is because they don't think that way.
Right. No, I completely agree. Yeah. They
Right.
want it now. They want instant gratification.
Yeah.
When we don't get instant gratification, then we find something else to start focusing on.
Yeah.
To hopefully we get that. And yeah, I think staying with something and persevering after something
Yeah.
that's not happening overnight is tough.
Yeah, I think even like persevering when it seems unfair.
Yeah.
Right? So Joseph's life seemed unfair.
Yeah.
Like, the entire thing. When I look at it as an outsider, like, that's not right for him.
Right.
That's not just. That's not fair.
Yep.
And so in your life, right, so when you're going through tough times, at times it's not gonna be fair.
Well, that's the easiest thing to think about too is
Right.
why me? Poor
Yeah.
poor me, why me? This isn't fair. It's not easy to sit back and say, "What can I do to persevere, to keep pushing through this, to keep pushing towards that end goal?"
Yeah.
Maybe the end goal's not tomorrow. Maybe it's in 17 years. I mean,
Mhm.
who knows when it is?
Yeah. Which it goes against our culture, right? We want
For sure.
money fast. You take a
Yeah.
lot of guys, myself included, like, if I can find the newest stock that's gonna blow up tomorrow, I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw money in it, and then
Right. I saw something the other day that said, if you could go back to 2005, what would you do? It's like, man, the amount of money I'd stick into Amazon and Tesla and,
yeah.
it's funny, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think a lot of men don't stick with what's ultimately gonna bless them long term because they want the short term reward.
Yeah.
So even like marriage, I've been talking to a few guys lately, it's been married, 50 plus years.
Yeah.
Like, man, there's some tough seasons if you're married 50 plus
There's
years.
some tough seasons in 10 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, to endure 50 plus
Yeah.
years, I mean, that's a lot of give and take.
That's a long game,
That's a long game.
right? Like,
Yeah.
there's tough
And I
times.
always used to make the joke too, man. It's like people telling me, they've been married 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
years. I'm like, to the same person? And
Yeah.
it's just, now I can imagine being with,
Yeah.
not being with the same person. But I think that's the long game scenario. That's the long game thinking is I couldn't ever imagine myself
Mhm.
not being with my spouse. And
Yeah.
I think that's probably, if your mindset starts there,
Mhm.
50 years probably isn't all that hard.
Yeah.
I hope.
I'm getting close to halfway, so,
Yeah. Well,
it's,
I'm almost at 10, so
Yeah.
we'll see how this goes. Hopefully she
Yeah.
doesn't get wise and leave me, or maybe hopefully she's
Yeah.
not looking for the short game or the instant gratification. She's looking. Shut up, Blake.
Let's go this.
Yeah.
So I think practically, so what does the long game require? I was just trying to think through some of that. Like, one of the things is, if we're gonna be faithful in the long game, it
Yep.
requires, like, faithfulness in little things. Because that's what you see of Joseph, right?
Yeah.
That he was faithful. I don't know what's wrong with you tonight. I don't know what's wrong with you most days.
It's not me.
I don't know what's wrong with Blake. I don't know what's wrong with you. Blake
Yep.
hasn't had any sleep. I know what's wrong
Yeah,
with him.
that's his problem. He's slap happy.
Your problem is that
He
you act like
smiles, it
no,
makes
your
me
problem is
smile.
you act like a junior high boy.
I do that too.
And I know because I can relate to it. And so when he over there, he laughs at some stupid immature
I know.
thing,
Yeah,
you start laughing at immature
I
thing.
know.
And it's not just on this podcast. We've sat in some pretty serious meetings together. And I look over and
They
you're
got-
over there like
It got really unserious.
that
really
dumb
quick.
grin you have on
Yeah.
your face right now,
Yeah, that's the one.
laughing about something.
Yeah. Anyway,
Faithfulness in small things.
yes,
So
yes. Some people have that.
if you can't lead your home, right, like in small things right now, that's probably not going to pay off for you long term, right?
Exactly.
Long game. Or it can be even smaller things. Show up on time.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yep.
keep your word on what may seem not that big a deal.
Right.
You tell someone you're going to show up and help them. Show up and help them.
Yep. It starts at work. It starts at church. It starts at, it starts personal growth.
You won't handle bigger things well if you can't handle smaller things.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
I don't know what's wrong with Blake. All of us.
I know what's wrong with Blake. He's
That's
immature.
true. That's
He's
true.
a 17-year-old kid trapped in a 40-year-old man's body.
But here's what I think on the small things. I think that God will give you things like small things privately before you're used publicly in some big ways.
Yep, I agree.
So when you take Joseph's life,
Right. Yeah, if you
hey,
can't,
you're at Potiphar's house. I'm going to give you this small thing. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to manage a household, do this because I want to see if you're faithful.
Right.
So that when you can be the second in charge of all the kingdom.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
it starts down here. As you grow, as you mature, you get bigger tests, bigger things to carry.
Yeah.
And if you don't do well with these small things, it's
Yeah.
the same thing you do with your kids.
Yeah.
You give your kids small tasks and chores, and if they can't handle that, then they can't mature and grow up and get, whatever.
Yeah. When
Go
you go
ahead.
mature. All right. Never mind. The second thing I think we see from Joseph, like, is he had emotional control.
Yeah. That
He was mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty mature.
Well, you think about it, like
That's the reason I'm not allowed to have big tasks because I'm not mature.
when his brother showed back up and he's in charge,
Right.
he doesn't blow up on him.
Right.
And he could have.
Yeah.
So I once heard it this way. It's like boys react, men respond. So boys just kind of blow off the handle in anger and where men like are
A
thoughtful
little more
and
calculated.
emotionally controlled.
Yeah.
We're steady, right? We'll respond, but it's a calculated approach,
Yep, I
right?
agree.
And so the long game requires, like, men who are patient, who are forgiving, who are selfless,
Right.
so right and that's what he says in Genesis, he said, "Hey, what you meant for evil, God meant for good." That's what he tells his brothers.
Yep.
It's like, "So you meant this for evil when you threw me in the pit, you sold me?
Right.
God is meaning it for good."
Yep.
So you just have to be like this emotional control to be able
Yeah.
to do that, so the other thing the long game requires is you can't get bitter,
Yes.
and I think that's hard.
Yeah.
I find that the older I get that there's just a lot going on,
I know, man.
and you see more hurt, you may
Yep.
experience more hurt, and after
Yeah, you
decades,
see what
right,
the world really
you
is.
see what the world really is, and we started talking about all the craziness in the
Right.
world.
And there's
There can be
so much more
resentment.
craziness we haven't even ever hit on. It's just
Yeah,
you see, and you start unraveling any of that and looking into it, and it's wow, man.
yeah,
How blessed are we just to be born in the United States? And we
yeah,
just start there.
yep,
Um,
yeah, so you can't let that bitterness just kinda hang on
right.
to your life. The last thing I think we've been talking about this the whole time is that we need to think in decades, right? So,
Yeah.
if you're 25, think about when you're 55. If you're
Right.
45, think about when you're 75,
Yeah.
right? It's like and my grandpa's 96. He doesn't need to think in decades.
He doesn't.
But,
And he's thinking years.
um but, like, what kinda husband do I wanna be,
Yeah.
um, when I've been married 50 years?
Right.
What kinda grandpa do I wanna be?
I don't
Or
know, when you've been around for 96.
when you've been around 96, you know what?
How wild is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's born in 35, right? So it's
yeah.
like he's seen a lot. So I think live in a way today that your future self is, like, going to thank you,
Right.
right? So decisions you make today when you're 50 some, you'd be like, "Hey, man, I'm glad my 30-some-year-old self made those
Right.
decisions." Um,
Yep.
so when we think short term, I think that's the reason we get into pornography because we're not thinking
Yeah.
long term, or we get into crazy debt because we're not thinking long term, or we
Right.
become lazy or become bitter because we're not thinking decades down the road.
Right.
Right, so all these things Joseph could have, like, fallen into,
Yep.
but he was thinking that, "No, God has a plan for me,
Yep.
decades down the road."
You know
So
what else is fun to think about too sometimes is, 25-year-old Nick would sure be proud of 41-year-old Nick.
yeah,
41-year-old Nick has all the things 25-year-old Nick really wanted.
yeah,
Um, and it's kind of fun to think about that sometimes. It's
mhm,
like, okay, I had to mature a little bit at some point. Not
yeah,
obviously not enough for a podcast, but I had to mature a
yeah,
little bit at some point to start getting my life together, to get married, to start attending a church, to becoming a leader in a church, to
mhm,
have a podcast with my friends, and
yeah,
just 25-year-old Nick maybe didn't make the greatest decisions. 30-year-old Nick started to make some better decisions, and 40-year-old Nick is reaping the rewards of those
yeah,
decisions. And what's 50-year-old Nick look like
yeah,
because of what 40-year-old Nick has started doing?
yeah.
And
That's a great way to look at it.
yep,
Like, when you look back in decades, I think it helps you look forward in
yeah,
decades, and then it's like, "Hey, you're 41-year-old Nick, so I don't just stay faithful at 41-year-old Nick," right?
right,
So what it looks like. So Joseph there, he didn't know the timeline when God was gonna, like, really use him.
right,
He stayed faithful in the season he was in.
yep,
Whether it's a slave or at prison, he just kept staying faithful.
yeah,
So you being faithful at a podcast at 41,
right. Who knows what that turns
what's
into
it
at 50, 60,
yeah,
70?
I doubt the podcast turns into much, but God's using you
You never know.
through this time, right? And
Right,
growing you. So this may
right,
seem like your pit at
yep,
some point.
right,
But yeah. So I think with being like biblical masculinity, it's really not flashy. It's more just being faithful in little
yeah,
things.
just kind of stay in the course,
And then when you become an old man,
right,
and these old men that I just have a ton of respect for, there's nothing flashy about them. They were
yeah,
disciplined year after year.
right.
Um,
Except for Bud Forward, he was flashy.
well, there's a few
That man had some
sometimes.
suits.
Some of them have some suits. Yeah. So I guess
But
my
I miss guys like that
yeah,
because
yeah,
you
yeah,
look back at guys like that and you're like, man, like you looked up to these guys for
yeah,
something that they were or something that was in them, and it kind of gives you something to look at that's like, man, I kind of want to be like that, or I want to carry myself the way that those guys carried themselves, and
yeah.
I don't know, I just
Well, and I think a key on that I think men need to look at is when are you gonna step into those
right,
shoes? Right? So you look at an older guy that
yep,
you remember from a few years ago and like, "Man, I really like that old guy. He always had wisdom. He's funny. He
yeah,
spent time with me." And then now it's like, you look around, there's younger guys who would probably look at 41-year-old Nick and is like, "Hey, that middle-aged bald head man,
yeah,
I think I could learn some stuff from
right,
I wish he would talk to me."
yeah, yeah,
Where you probably think, I'm just a dumb kid
Yeah,
sometimes.
I'm never talking to that guy. I'm
But
just kidding.
God has, like, a purpose to use you if you step into that,
Right.
so
Yep.
yeah, I just wanna encourage guys, like, I think the life of Joseph shows us, like, "Hey, don't quit when you're in that pit."
Yeah.
You know, when you find yourself in that prison where you seem all forgotten there,
Yep.
like, "Hey, don't give up." Like,
Yep.
God is doing something during that time, so
Yep.
in your life, if
And
that's
we're all going through valleys at certain times and
Yeah,
going through pits or thinking that we're in a pit, and it's maybe yours is a little bit different than mine, but,
yeah,
there's still a way to get through it.
yeah.
Um, we kinda talked about that in the past too. It's just
Mhm.
like, you know, God didn't say he walked, that you walk through the valley of the shadow of death alone. He walks
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't stand on the other side,
yeah,
right?
he's not waiting on you. He's
Yeah,
right there next to you, and
yeah.
keep that in mind.
This has been good. Um, don't forget September 10th through 12th.
Yep.
Put it on your calendar. You
We'll
got it on
figure
your
out the
calendar?
spring thing.
We'll figure out something for the
Yeah.
spring, hopefully.
Yeah, no, it's on my calendar. I'm ready.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good. And check out Increase Jesus.
Yep. Use the code tough-10.
Yeah,
He's got some good apparel.
yeah, we're gonna get a new, rifle up here, we think.
Are we?
Yeah, let's put a new rifle up.
Alright, yeah. You don't like that one anymore?
No, I
Is it
like it.
just 'cause it's a 22 and it's kinda like a kid thing?
Is it a 22?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's alright.
We'll get something up there,
All right.
bigger bullet.
We'll see you guys next week.